Whatever has happened has happened. Let us say that 80% is illegal. You draw a line and you close, have a cutoff date, because now this scheme has not been implemented for close to more than 2.5 years in the state.
More than 3 years, my lords. 3 years, 2
3 years.
months.
So therefore, let us make a beginning as, let us say, by July or August 2025. Prospectively, you start. That is why we said, what are the checks and balances you can make? You put a nodal officer of the central government who will disburse the funds. He will scrutinize the application, because you cannot suspend the implementation of the central scheme.
Pace of utilization of funds, spending, liabilities, overall performance, and subject to submissions of relevant documents. It is also pertinent to mention here that a robust online platform called MIS Regrassoft is in place, to which updation of information at every level is done by the concerned state, union territory, and on basis of the information of Regrassoft and funds are released as per the provisions envisaged under the Act. Central government releases 100% of the wage payment directly to the bank accounts, post office accounts of the beneficiaries through the National Electronic Fund Management System thereafter. Now, this is the explanation given as to how it is being disbursed. Now, para 6 onwards kindly come. In reference and or reply to the paragraph 10 Roman I of the solemn order dated such and such, passed by the Honorable Court, the respondent begs to state that as per Rule 238 of the General Financial Rules to 2017, all interest or other earnings against grants in aid or advances other than reimbursement released to the grantor institution should be mandatorily remitted to the Consolidated Fund of India immediately after finalization of the accounts. Therefore, the question which fell from my lords on the last occasion was, what was the recovery of misappropriation of the amount where it has to be transmitted? Now, this is the answer in the Consolidated Fund. Now, then, such advances should not be allowed to be adjusted against future releases. In view of the above, the state government should deposit the recovered amount into the Consolidated Fund of India. Accordingly, the state government should remit the recovered amount through a demand draft drawn in favor of the Pay and Accounts Office, Ministry of Rural Development. The last question is answered.
No, one clarification. Sir, this inquiry, now we will not go into the other districts, because in the next paragraph, I read the affidavit, full affidavit. Other paragraphs you have said, another set of team has visited, etc. Another 15 districts are going on. First, for the time being, we will restrict to 4 districts. If this amount, according to the central team or visiting team or whatever team was constituted by the court, etc., certain irregularities have been found. Admittedly, there were irregularities. Therefore, the payments made out to those people have been ordered to be recovered, remitted to a particular nodal officer's account. But their consistent case of the petitioner was, there might have been 10 bad apples, but still there are people who have genuinely worked. They are not being paid. That's the, sir, from the beginning of so many hearings, we are trying to make that issue clear. We are not saying anything about your inquiry into irregularities, illegalities, which you are bound to make. No person can benefit from by a fraud committed. But if there are 10 people who have genuinely done the work, why do you stop?
We are not standing in the way, but what two aspects we are, two aspects.
You can't get it back, sir. If you
would it be Loss's pleasure to see once in the list paragraph 9? Paragraph 9 of the report. Page 10. Page 10. In reference and a reply to the paragraph 13 of the solemn order, the Honorable Court regarding release of pending wage and material payment under Mahatma Gandhi such and such, which arose prior to date of ministry's letter dated 9th March 2022, the respondent begs to state that due to non-compliance of various directions related to transparency and accountability, the request of the state government for upward revision of labor budget for financial year 2021-22 was not agreed to be the empowered committee in the department. Therefore, payments towards wage, material, and administrative components for the period prior to 9th March 2022 have not been made. In this regard, the latest action taken report dated 23rd October 2024 and updated action taken report dated such and such taken report such and such from the state level been examined and further observations have been conveyed to the state detailed letter dated such and such for necessary compliance and clarification as stated above. Photocopy of such and such. Therefore, my lord, the question of payment to those who have really worked, we respectfully agree with your lordship. Now, what is the case made out by the Khet Majur petition, the first petition before your lordship? Applications were made to the district magistrate in the concerned districts. Now, who is to assess whether these people whose lists are being enclosed, whether they have worked or not?
Not on that. With deepest respect to my learned senior
Please
friend,
allow me to
at the
finish.
moment we are not agitating that issue at all, sir. With respect to previous payments, my lords, we have clarified this earlier occasion also. In the meantime, it has been cleared and pending wages have been cleared by the state of West Bengal, my lords. At the present moment, my lords, we're considering the specific issue of prospective implementation of the law. Whatever has happened, my lords. Today onwards, how the law can be prospectively implemented
Wait.
for that.
We'll come back to you. Solicitor General, one issue. There was a direction that pending payment of and material payment, wage payment, material payment, if any, prior to the order dated 9th March 2022, will be released by the central government. That was the understanding. Now, two issues arise. So, if there was there was another direction issued to the state government in that order dated 9th March, in paragraph 10, subpara 2i's, which the state government is contesting. They have filed a supplementary affidavit, they are contesting. Our query is twofold. Whatever has happened, has happened. Let us say that 80% is illegal. You draw a line and you have a cutoff date. Because now this scheme has not been implemented for close to more than 2.5 years in the state.
More than 3 years, my lords. 3 years, 2 months.
So therefore, let us make a beginning as, let us say, by July or August 2025. Prospectively, you start. That is why we said, what are the checks and balances you can make? You put a nodal officer of the central government who will disburse the funds. He will scrutinize the application, because you cannot suspend the implementation of the central scheme.
May I make, in this regard, may I make a respectful submission?
Yes.
In view of the action taken by the central government on a proven fact of misappropriation on the release of the central government fund, an action has been taken under section 27 of the Act of 2005 Act.
Yes.
It is true that the scheme cannot be indefinitely stopped. That's true. But when an action has been taken under section 27, state government has been asked to satisfy by filing one after other action taken report, and unless we are satisfied whether the central government will release funds further. That is the question, Lordship will kindly decide. Kindly see the scope of section 27.
Their stand itself was 22 compliance report has been filed. 22 times they have filed compliance report. So we are not saying anything on that. For the present, we will say that all was not well at the earlier point of time. You please have a cutoff date. Prospectively, you implement the scheme from August 2025. That will be beneficial to, that will be honoring the statutory mandate.
I'm grateful, Your Lordship.
And you impose any condition. You will say that you will not release the fund to the state.
Millard, could I,
on the last occasion,
may I make one submission, Millard, for your Lordship's assistance? Millard, now, Millard, the central government, Millard, has come out with a portal, National Electronic Sum Portal, National Electronic Fund Management Portal, under which, my lord, the money would be directly transmitted to the accounts of the beneficiaries, my lord, electronically. Therefore, nodal officer and all, my lord, that would also, my lord, may not be required. My learned friend may take instructions on this also. So this is what, my lord, I wanted to say.
no, I think, sir, that will be a better option, sir.
My lords, that is the
implement-
system that is in place, your lordship. If I may put this is a system that is in place since 2016, your lordship. Money, wage, so far as wage component is concerned, my lords, it is directly transferred from.
The central government stand is that there is a clear proof of misappropriation. Therefore, I will not release until things are clear. We for the present, we will accept them, their stand to be correct, because illustratively or factually it has been established, at least in 4 districts as of now, there has been irregularity.
My lords.
So our endeavor is to ensure that the scheme gets implemented prospectively.
My lords, I'm grateful, my lords.
Parallelly, they will proceed with regard to the past action.
My lords, I'm grateful.
People recover amounts, remit it to the fund, etc. Let them do. That will be proper, sir.